G'day folks, Steve from Vintage Restorations Australia here. In today's episode, we send this, the Unicorn, off to a new home. So those of you who follow the channel will be familiar with this. This is the Unicorn, the Last RHD Series 1 ever made by Landrover. I pulled this out of the forest up the coast a little bit there a year or so ago. It's a pretty significant car, being the last right-hand drive ever built by Landrover, last Series 1. I'd always wanted to restore this, but you've got to put time and money against all of these projects, and this one requires a hell of a lot of both. And I don't think I've actually got the budget of time nor money to actually get this done. So I decided to actually find someone who did have time and money to do it. And I've found a buyer for it. So the truck's on the way. I did you would have seen a bit of this. It's a fairly big restoration, suffice to say. But put enough time and money into it and it'll get done. You can see in here that all of this is pretty much rotten, so it does probably need a new firewall. But the chassis, it's not too bad up to here, but the front section there is pretty crusty and toasted. We picked a really miserable day. It's as wet and bloody cold. I had to pull this out up this little bit of a grass slope. You can't really tell how steep my farm is looking at it on film, but it's about a 1 in 5 slope up my driveway there. So that's pretty steep. Anyway, we had a good old time pulling this out. It was a bit slippery and slidey. Obviously, we've got some bits missing here that are essential to this rolling. So it's going to be a bit of a job to get it on the truck. The plan is we reverse this up onto the truck and winch it off backwards. When it gets to the other end, they'll have to winch it off forwards, I guess. We're trying not to damage it more than it already is. So all these bits and bobs are going with it, all the rims and things. That's the original bonnet sitting in there. There's a whole bunch of other bits and pieces, a couple of doors and good door tops and things, the grill, things like that. So as I said, it's a hell of a restoration job, but it's a very worthy car. It is the Unicorn. So as I said, this is the last right-hand drive Series 1 ever built by Landrover. How do we know that? Well, we trace this number here, and that number tells us that after this, they only produce left-hand drives. Front of the chassis is not too bad there, but that cross member is getting a bit sketchy. There's not a lot of meat left on the bone there, so we're just going to have to be a bit careful pulling this on and off. I also had a little 80-inch that I was sending off with this car, so I had to load that before I could get the Unicorn loaded. So we're running out of daylight. It's been a bit of a nightmare getting these on, but anyway, that's the way it goes. We might end up doing this one in the dark, I suspect. This is just a little 80-inch that's going off. Obviously no front end, everything's packed into there and it's plastic wrapped. Play's resumed under lights. We had to take this off the trailer, unfortunately, because it had to go on the lower deck, and I needed the trailer to get the 80-inch that went on the top deck. So we had to do a bit of shuffling on and off. This having no wheels, we've had to put on a couple of pallets and things. We're now backing the truck up to it. I'm going to winch it on that lower deck there. We've run out of daylight, being winter. Still a bit wet and bloody cold. Anyway, we're getting it there. Going to winch it up onto the truck and we're away. That little 80 up on top there, you can't really see, but trust me, there's an 80 up there. Or 3 of them in fact. inch by inch.
You know what's funny?
Hey?
She's on. She's stamping that time.
A fine balance.
If I lift it, I'll get you to pull that.
Set of wheels would really be good.
She's sitting right on this pole.
It is.
Yeah.
We strap it across. Now we're nearly on. This is literally an inch by inch affair. But we're getting there. Last little job. Got a Series 2 roof, and you can't really see it, the roof rack off the Unicorn. We'll get those on the truck and he can get on his way off to Melbourne.
We're done.
Cool. Thanks for that.
No, thank you.
Sorry it was such a drama.
Nah.
We got there though. Goodbye, Unicorn.
Carefully unloading the Unicorn with some straps without causing any additional damage to it. Really looking forward to what's going to come of this car actually. Going to make this car absolutely amazing. Touchdown. It was a bit stressful, but hey, we did it. We got it on the trailer nice and straight without causing any further damage to the car. Long journey ahead of us.